Hi everyone, Misilla and Nick here from Growing Back to Eden.
We're gonna graft a few new varieties of apples into this existing tree. What kind of apple was it?
Yellow Delicious.
No, what was your main tree?
Oh, Fuji.
Okay, so we've got Yellow Delicious and Liberty.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Was there another one?
No, that's it. Two
Okay,
Yellow
so
Delicious
there's three
and
varieties in this one tree. Yeah, cool.
So it's going to be fun. So I hope you guys enjoy the show and make sure to check out his channel, Growing Back to Eden.
Yep.
Thanks for watching and thanks for coming.
Yeah, of course. It's always
Awesome.
fun to come out. I'm gonna make this cut. It's gonna be at an angle.
Okay.
That way it heals over properly and this branch becomes the top branch. Of course, the wind wants to blow sawdust in my face. So
Okay.
And
Very
so clean. That would heal over
Yeah.
perfectly on that side. Start from the center and work your way out. That's what Paul talks about.
Okay.
How the Japanese prune. Anything growing straight up comes out.
Okay.
When you make your cuts. So that was the Samurai Saw. This is the Felco number 8. If you look at the branch, there's the collar. Well, there's the main branch, the stem, and then the collar. And that's like that dotted line right there. And that's where you want to cut. So when that collar, or when the branch starts to grow, the collar will go and cover up that cut and heal over perfectly.
Okay.
You want to keep your tree nice and open. These guys are going out. These two branches are going straight this way. We'll cut it off there. That way they continue to grow out. That out. There's a lot of different ones, but I think these ones fit the hand perfectly for just like normal pruning. Took that branch off just because this one's growing out nice and evenly and it's higher up, so you don't want your branches to be right on the ground. Train it to grow kind of like this. It'll maintain a branch that's higher off the ground. So now it'll grow up, weight of the apples will bring it down, and it'll just be nice and horizontal.
This is pretty much the same principle that Paul does on his own apple trees and fruit trees.
I'm gonna cut this one at this bud that's growing more this way, and then take this off just so this branch continues to flow straight and nice.
And they'll continue to grow more buds anyway.
Yeah, that bud will sprout this year and grow straight out this way. And actually cut it a tiny bit closer. And then this bud's shooting down. Since it's above us, we'll prune it that way so this bud goes straight out. Take the top off. That little guy can come off. Take the center out. That one this year. One quick thing is when you're pruning, you don't want to just drop all your branches on the ground as you go. I like to keep picking them up and then either fill up a wheelbarrow or make a nice dense pile, because then you can look at the pile and visualize, okay, that's 1/3 of the tree. So when they're all spread out, it's kind of harder for you to realize how much you're taking out. Get into a nice dense pile. Normally I'd cut that big branch up into smaller pieces and fill it into a wheelbarrow so I can get an idea of the total mass of the wood or of the tree.
Because you don't want to cut more than 1/3 of the tree.
Yep. Easier to visualize that when it's all together.
Okay,
instead of just a bunch of stuff laying around.
Good point.
And it's easier to clean up at the end.
Yes.
Here's something about taking centers out. See how there's 3 right here? It makes like a bird foot. See how it kind of splits like that into 3 branches?
Yeah.
This branch doesn't look the best anyway, so what we'll do is we'll come in here, take that branch out, and look how much air and airflow it can get, how nice it looks. Now these branches will just continue to go this way. We'll take this off because it's going up. Now they're nice and spread out. We'll prune to this bud. That way it continues to grow. This one's a little long, so we'll balance it out. So this branch down here is growing down. It's going to get shaded out, so this should come out first. Now we know what we're working with up here. Take this guy out, that guy, that guy. We'll leave that for this year. Branch will grow this way and then come out this way. High, so we'll prune it back to the bud that's shooting lateral. So you'd prune it right there. That way this bud continues to grow out in the direction you want it to. We're taking any stumps off. anything growing straight down, not anything going straight up.
And the ones that you're pruning off also takes energy, right, to grow. So you'd want to focus more energy on fruit.
Yep. These branches are crossing over right here. So I'm actually, just because they're in the center of the tree, going to take that one out, and then I'll get over there and take that center out.
Okay. Let the air and light.
Yep.
Okay. There's a lot going on.
We'll take this center out again. That opened it up.
Looks so much better already.
These are fruit spurs. They'll produce apples this year.
Thank you. That's amazing.
Actually, we'll do just to balance the tree out. And now both sides of the tree are more balanced.
Balanced.
This tree, the mass of the trunk, the branches and the twigs, then the mass of that's no more than a third. That's probably exactly a third.
So it's a good pruning.
Yep.
Want to show us how to graft.
Ion wood.
Okay.
The buds are all growing out. This is the top, that's the bottom, this is the end. We'll graft into the tree. So we'll find a good spot where, like this one right here actually, where the scion wood matches the same diameter as the tree.
Got it.
Or your rootstock. And then what you want to do, this is flat pruners. The other ones are bypass pruners. So the blade bypasses the bottom. This one just lays flat. So you get a nice clean flat cut. This one kind of pinches and snaps it. We'll match it up to the same diameter. And we'll make the cut going this way. So you're gonna make a 1-inch cut, kind of splitting the branch right there.
So we're grafting a yellow delicious branch from the 4-way espalier apple tree that we took it from.
And what I like to do is take a nice sharp knife.
Okay.
And then we're gonna cut a wedge. So I look at my buds, see which way I want them to grow. That looks about right, so the branch will heal like that. Cut a wedge. Okay, so there's your nice clean wedge. Okay, so if you can get above or even below maybe.
Wedged it in there.
Yep, and you want to make sure the cambium layer is lined up. That way the two green layers of the plant, you'll know it's taken once it starts to really bud out and start growing. So then what you want to use is cheap electrical tape. You can use grafting tape, but it's more expensive. Being that it's black, it heats up when the sun hits it, so it heals better. And you just want to wrap it so it's nice and tight. It pulls everything into alignment. I actually did a whole grafting video on YouTube. Anyways, I grafted a bunch of different types of stone fruit onto his cherry tree. So now his cherry tree has peaches, plums, nectarines, a couple different types of each. But you just want to stretch your electrical tape just so it's nice and tight around everything. No air and water is going to get in and out of it. Open it just a tiny bit.
Get that in there.
And just kind of wiggle it in. There we go. See the cambium layers lining up on either side of that top piece. It's okay if it doesn't line up perfectly on the bottom. As long as it's got one good side on the top, it'll heal. Again, cheap electrical tape. Make sure it's lined up. And once you know the graft is taken, the tree's gonna continue to grow. The branch will swell, and the tape by then will become dry rot. And once it starts to fall off on its own, then you're good to take it off. But if the graft doesn't take, then you just prune it off. The whole tree will be leafed out. It'll be growing, and this branch just won't grow. All right.